Dan is eliminated. Now we've got David King with Sneak and Show versus Alex Binek with Blue White Red Miracles. This has been pretty popular deck lately in Legacy ever since the well, I say lately. It's been over the past 10 months or so.
We're talking about Miracles or Sneak and Show?
I'm talking about Miracles. With
do you have a personal affection toward Miracles?
I like Miracles a lot.
Do you happen to have that said deck owned?
I do.
Oh,
it is my favorite deck in Legacy. Now, Alex's version is slightly different, although I
how much red are you playing?
I don't play any red.
Right, that's the big difference.
I could see the reason for splashing, and I currently don't do that.
Right. Well, Sneak and Show has an interesting game against Miracles, because Miracles has the opportunity to combat them with counter magic, and as you see on the board here, an ensnaring bridge, which stops any kind of attack from Emrakul. Emrakul does nothing with the ensnaring bridge in play. I'm not sure where we are in this game. It looks like we're pretty deep in the game here.
Fairly deep into game 3. It looks like these guys are
at least turn 3 here. So let's see where we're at. I'll have a better idea when I see a hand here or a draw step.
Yeah, as far as board state, you can see there's the ensnaring bridge and the Sensei's divining top on Alex's side. On David's side, no board beyond a lotus petal, and he currently is resolving a ponder. He decided to shuffle, so he is shuffling to resolve the ponder.
Okay.
Alex is offered the cut there, and
like any Sneak and Show deck here, he's going to need an Echoing Truth to deal with the ensnaring bridge to win the game. It seems like Sneak and Show always needs an Echoing Truth. That's why they play Echoing Truth, because they know it's an eventuality. They know every deck has them on their radar, and they're going to need to answer some permanent that's on the board, stopping them from winning.
I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, okay. Was that was just a mistake there? Okay.
Oh, okay. So those are fixing it up.
He saw an extra card. That was what the shuffle was. I thought he was resolving ponder with just the shuffle. So saw an extra card, shuffled, put the 3 back on top. That's what the judge, I believe, was holding on to them, and then David drew.
Okay.
So David's
fixing
hand looks
the
like
situation
Force, Emrakul, Show and Tell, and Spell Pierce.
So he is all counter spells all the time. We have a draw here, and Alex, I saw counterspell the hard way, the actual counterspell, and that's it, because his hand is very close to him. And I'm going to, next time I do this, Joey, you might want to do this too, we do the next podcast here, excuse me, the commentating. We're going to have a little workshop at the beginning of the top 8, and we're going to explain to them when they're on camera, the world, their fans want to see their hand.
That's right.
We need to have it away from the chest here. This isn't, drafting here. We're not trying to get a little peeksy, a little cheating going on.
Right,
blast. I saw blast.
Okay, I saw helm.
Red blast, helm. Detention sphere. Jace, my sculptor.
You sure about that one?
Yep, I'm catching them as we go.
I'm writing this down.
All right, good, yeah. And I don't know the rest.
Okay. Well, we got 4 cards out of his hand.
He looks like he has a full 7 here. He really hasn't played anything besides the ensnaring bridge, and he does have 7 now. So he plays a Scalding Tarn, and let's see if we can get another card here. All right, can't tell. He draws another Force. David does.
There's a Force in Alex's hand.
Okay.
Definitely saw that.
So it looks like they're both equipped to the teeth with weapons here, with counter magic, with abilities to stop each other from doing things.
Yep.
But
King has.
But King's the one who has to do things. Alex doesn't have to do anything. Alex can sit there and draw, and then finally, whenever he's ready, is able to get through. Did you know that, I just figured this out, Geist is a pretty interesting card with the ensnaring bridge.
Yeah, because Geist can attack through it.
Right.
And
you don't need
the
4
Angel
cards,
comes into play attacking already, so it gets past the ensnaring bridge as well.
It's a pretty neat
pretty
interaction.
Crazy interaction. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. There's another Emrakul, so we're dual Emrakuls. David King still unable to combo off, as long as the ensnaring bridge there.
Here is a
top
activation from Alex. Now, an interesting thing, if their hands are, as we said, with Alex having, he plays a fetch land there. Alex has Red Blast and Force of Will.
And Counterspell, the actual one.
An actual counterspell, okay.
All the way to the left. Mercadian Mask, the ugly one. Sneak Attack added to David King. Sneak Attack's helpful just to maybe bait some kind of responses out of Alex. But again, with the Ensnaring Bridge, he's not going to be able to do anything with it.
Okay, well, what I was going to say before I realized that Alex had another counterspell was that King with 2 Force of Wills and a Spell Pierce has 3 counterspells to Alex's 2, but King needs both of his forces to resolve one. He needs to remove one force to do the other, or...
Right.
Yeah,
so he discards Emrakul. What made him do that? He...
did he just draw his card for the turn?
He went to 8 cards.
Yeah, that was what it was. I have 7 listed, so I don't know what he drew for the turn.
He drew, all I saw was the second Emrakul, so...
Okay, so
he must have had 7, then that made it 8.
Right, he had 7 with the second Emrakul. What is his card for the turn? I didn't get a good peek.
Well, I thought he drew the second Emrakul.
Well, he definitely had the second Emrakul,
Maybe
you're right.
3, okay. Here's the Geist, as we talked about. Here comes a war. This is going to be fought for, because I think Alex really wants this here. I don't think Alex is in any danger of losing with the Ensnaring Bridge after a couple counterspells. So I think Alex can afford... No, he's not going to.
Was that force... What did he remove?
You can't see it's off camera, but Alex definitely should counterspell here. Because at worst case scenario, Alex has another Force of Will.
Okay, so he's got double force, Emrakul, sneak attack. Oh, he removed show and tell.
Okay, so here comes sneak attack.
Yes, show and tell, pitch to force.
So you play sneak attack here. He's thinking about it. I don't think there's any harm in doing so. He might pull a counter out of Alex. And I think David allows the counter to be used. I don't think he fights over this. So I think he just lets Alex counter it if he wants to.
So, no. And Alex doesn't bite.
That's a very responsible play. Now, the only thing that makes happen now, Alex cannot allow an Echoing Truth to resolve. Alright, here's the
He's going to play Detention Sphere on the sneak attack.
I don't see David defending this. I think David just lets this go away. He's going to need that force further.
Double force in Alex's hand
you
as
see
well.
Alex's hand is stacked with counterspells. It is force, counterspell, and then he has a Jace too.
He's got a Venser in there.
He has a Jace for good measure. Here's another counter, or here's another sneak attack. So David's taking another 2 damage here. Plays another sneak here. Alex, I don't think he counters this either. I don't think it really does anything.
So I see force, Venser, Jace, counterspell.
Right.
And
all right. Well, Alex.
I never saw a red blast.
Alex maybe don't have the red blast.
Okay.
Alex is going to counter this, and I say I wouldn't, but I don't think it's a bad play. And I think it's just a different play. I think he's playing to the chance of when Alex one day wants to attack with the Geist of St. Traff, he doesn't want David sneaking in a Grizzlebrain and blocking, which is a possibility. So I don't think countering here is bad. I don't think he needs to. So he's going to go ahead and do it anyway, or he's going to top. Okay. So he's going to maybe counter here. And he looks like he has another Force of Will there. There's a third Force of Will. So that would put his total to 3 Force of Wills in Alex's hand, when he draws that card, if and when. So he does draw the Force, unless he puts a land in his hand. It's either a Force or a fetch land. No, he took the fetch land, so...
Okay, so he still has 2.
Right. Here's the Jace. This is obviously much better than Geist. And David is going to be Force of Will in this. He's going to force this because he knows there is no chance of victory with Jace in play.
So David trying to decide here if he wants to...
What
he wants to pitch to
I think he's going to pitch the Spell Pierce, because as his game goes and drags on, Alex...
Pierce gets worse and worse.
Yeah, Alex is not going to be losing to Pierce. God, and whenever you lift your hand up and you are blinded by blue cards, it's not good. He's actually Spell Pierce.
He's going to cast Spell Pierce, so he's going to force Alex to crack those fetch lands to pay the 2.
Yeah, you just pay 2 here. I see this play sometimes, actually often, where Mana Leak happens when an opponent has 3 open, and Spell Pierce happens when 2 is open.
Well,
and it makes you tap out, but in Legacy, tapping out is nothing. There's forces and dazes to be had, and Alex has not shown a Force of Will yet, and there's no way Alex would tap 2 here for this Jace or even try it if he didn't have Force of Will backup to not die to a combo.
Alright, Force of Will, removing Force.
Going down to 1 card here. Do you easy Force here? Remove. He has another blue card to remove too.
He has Venser, and he's going to remove Venser.
Yeah, so now he has another Force too.
He's left with Force, Counterspell, and he just played the Jace.
And he has a Force on top of his library.
No, he doesn't. He just shuffled it away.
Oh, he shuffled. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. You're just kidding.
Just kidding.
It's just a joke.
That's a
It's
joke.
only joking. Okay, so there's
I just
Venser
want him to
removed.
have more forces.
Alright, so Jace resolves, and I'm still not sure what that third card is. I believe it's Helm of Obedience. I know thought I saw it earlier. It may have made its way back into the deck.
No, he
I don't
shuffled
think he
it.
ever.
No,
No,
it's right
there
there.
it is.
There it
Okay,
is,
he
yeah.
never. I was gonna say he brainstormed very early. I think before we joined the game.
It's kind of hard to see when we were getting situated. He was topping every time, and it almost seemed like a brainstorm, but he was
Okay, so
topping.
then Alex's hand is Helm, Force of Will,
He just drew
Counterspell.
another show and tell. He drew a show and tell.
Okay, so Show Emrakul are in David's hand.
All right, untap and draw here. Oh no, he's going to top.
Yeah,
And there's the counterbalance.
He's
If once his counterbalance gets assembled, he's going to have counterbalance top, Force, another Force on top of his library right under there, and this is going to become a however long it takes for JC to get to ultimate.
yeah, and he's going to start Fate Sealing now. So you saw the top activation. He Fate Seals with Jace, puts it on the bottom, whatever it was. He's going to cast Counterbalance here. That's not going to be contested. And he's going to soul bond it with this divining top.
Yep,
Because that's what happens.
That's true.
With,
Alex has played very
Counterbalance.
tight here. They played very well. He didn't bite on the sneak attack. He played Jace at the right time.
yeah, there you go. See the soul bond.
They're
There it
soulbound.
is.
Yep.
They're best
Is
friends.
the detention sphere soulbound on that sneak attack? Is that right?
I wouldn't call that soul bond.
Look, there's two sneak attacks. It's kind of confusing.
It is.
Someone just to turn it on and watch. There's a Geist. Why not just speed it up, right? I think Jace here is going to be the ultimate ender, but we'll
I mean,
see.
the thing is, sneak attack can still plop an Emrakul into play, right?
Can you? Can't
To
we?
block.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Jace is going to be the one that does it.
Yeah, he's gonna
The
just
Geist is
need
cutesy, as they say.
to go with Jace here.
That's a humility.
It certainly is.
Okay, so David now can sneak attack in creatures and attack for 1.
That's true. He's in better shape than he was before because now
Is
he
Alex
can
at
attack.
1? Is he? What's his life? Is
Alex
that
is at
accurate?
15. It'll
Can we get a
take him-
check on that?
Yeah, so he draws a Brainstorm. So he's got Emrakul Show until Brainstorm. He's casting Brainstorm. And look at that. Sensei's Divining
man.
Top right on top of his library. That's so weird. Where'd the one go from in play?
I'm
No.
not sure.
Top
Miracles,
goes on top, and there you see Counterbalance. Countering the Brainstorm.
David King's going to need the title of Alex's deck here to win. A full-blown miracle, not an
There's
actual
a-
magic miracle.
A replay of the top there. Alex passes back. David untaps, looks, and says, I have Lotus Petal. This is awesome. Does that resolve? I think Alex is like, well, you know what? Let me see if that resolves. Yeah, you know what? I had a land. Whatever.
Yeah.
Alex is like, you know what? I kind of want that fixed.
Alex
land,
is
so I'll just take
playing
it.
very tight precision play, just in case.
That's the awkward thing. There is no 13-sided die. I
What
mean,
could happen is the table could collapse within itself and we couldn't recreate the game. That's something that could happen.
The video would have to disappear too.
That too. Everything, all the evidence.
All
You
right.
can almost cast Emrakul. Look at this land out there.
It's getting there.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Getting there. Definitely over halfway. All right,
And I
well,
believe Alex has this match.
David's gonna let him ultimate here.
Yeah, so, alright, Jace is on 1, ultimate you. And, remove your library from the game.
David, what are you doing, my
Okay.
friend?
That is your,
He's just hanging out at this point.
shuffle those 2 cards, please. We need them to be sufficiently
I
randomized.
think
Alex cuts the deck there.
I think they're playing casually at this point. I think we're just having a good time.
And yeah, he couldn't Fate Seal him there. Look at this. Emrakul, sneak attack into play.
Okay, he's enjoying his time on the limelight.
He's got an Emrakul into play.
He does have an Emrakul
Here in the
play.
quarterfinals of the StarCityGames.com, Indianapolis Open, and with a big smile on his face, extends the hand, completely locked under, well, I could say counterbalance, top, Jace, Humility, and Snaring Bridge. I mean, there were a ton of cards that David King was
and
lost
a
under.
fistful of counterspells.
Yeah.